Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Little Chapel of Faith Catholic Ministries. My name is Tina. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. We have platforms on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. If you're on any of those or all of those, please like, subscribe, and share. That's all we ask here. We don't ask for any monetary donations or anything like that to keep this ministry going. I take care of that. We are here with our readings from the Diary of Saint Faustina. We do have a playlist on YouTube, so if you want to catch up to where we are here, you can go there and catch up, or just follow along where we are. And we are on page 201, number 456. On the 3-day retreat, August 12, 1935. On the evening, the introductory day of the retreat, as I listened to the points for the meditation, I heard these words: During this retreat, I will speak to you through the mouth of this priest to strengthen you and assure you of the truth of the words which I address to you in the depths of your soul. Although this is a retreat for all sisters, I have especially you in mind, as I want to strengthen you and make you fearless in the midst of all the adversities which lie ahead. Therefore, listen to his words and meditate upon them in the depths of your soul. Oh, how astonished I was for everything the Father said about the union with God and the obstacles to this union. I experienced literally in my soul and heard from Jesus, which speak to me in the depths of my soul. Perfection consists in the close union with God. During the 10 o'clock meditation, Father Rizakowski spoke about the divine mercy and about God's goodness to us. He said, as we renew the history of mankind, we can see the great goodness of God at every step. All the attributes of God, such as omnipotence and wisdom, serve to reveal to us the greatest of his attributes, namely his goodness. God's goodness is the greatest of God's attributes. Many souls striving for perfection, however, are not aware of this great goodness of God. Everything the Father said in the course of the meditation about the goodness of God was exactly what Jesus had said to me concerning the Feast of Mercy. I have now come to understand clearly what the Lord had promised me, and I have no doubt about anything. God's language is clear and distinct. Throughout the entire meditation, I saw the Lord Jesus on the altar in a white garment, his hand holding the notebook in which I had written these things. Throughout the entire meditation, Jesus kept turning the pages of the notebook and remained silent. However, my heart could not bear the fire that was enkindled in my soul. Despite the great effort of my will to take control of myself and not let others see what was going on in my soul towards the end of the meditation, I felt that I was completely beyond my own control. Then Jesus said to me, You have not written everything in the notebook about my goodness towards humankind. I desire that you omit nothing. I desire that your heart be firmly grounded in total peace. Oh, Jesus, my heart stops beating when I think of all you are doing for me. I am amazed at you, Lord, that you would stoop so low to my wretched soul. What inconceivable means you take to convince me. This is the first time in my life that I have made such a retreat. I understand in a special way, in a clear way, every single word the Father speaks, for I have first experienced it in my soul. I now see that Jesus will not leave in doubt any soul that loves him sincerely. Jesus wants that soul that is close in communion with him to be filled with peace despite suffering and adversities. Now I understand well that what unites our soul most closely to God is self-denial, that is, joining our will to the will of God. This is what makes the soul truly free, contributes to a profound recollection of the Spirit, and makes all life's burdens light and death sweet. Jesus told me that if I should have any doubts regarding the feast, or the founding of the congregation, or regarding anything else about which I have spoken the depths of your soul, I will reply immediately throughout the mouth of this priest. During meditation on humility, an old doubt returned, that a soul as miserable as mine could not carry out the task which the Lord was demanding of me. Just as I was analyzing this doubt, the priest who was conducting the retreat interrupted his train of thought and spoke about the very thing. I was having doubts about, namely, that God usually chooses the weakest and simplest souls as tools for his great works. That we can see that this is an undeniable truth when we look at the men he chose to be his apostles, or again, when we look at the history of the church and see what great works were done by souls that were least capable of accomplishing them. For it is just in this way that God's works are revealed for what they are, the works of God. When my doubt had completely disappeared, the priest resumed his conference on humility. Jesus was standing as he usually did during each conference on the altar and said nothing to me, but with his kindly gaze pierced my poor soul, which no longer had any excuse. I'm going to leave it there. You know, it's funny because when I was in church yesterday and during the homily, I felt like matter of fact, I went home and told my husband, I said I felt like I was getting a message today because the homily was about everything that was kind of going on with me internally. And I was like, God, I felt like, that the Lord was like, I was supposed to be getting a message today, because it just, everything involved what was going on with me. And sometimes, you wonder if that's the case. I mean, who knows, I think we get messages all the time. Sometimes we hear them and sometimes we don't. But anyway, it was funny. It was weird. And now that I read that, and maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But I did take everything I heard yesterday into consideration. So anyway, I hope you all have a great, beautiful rest of your day. Be well. Be kind to each other. God bless you all.